Getting to the final is obviously absolutely huge. First chance to win a major trophy in 43 years. How are you actually feeling ahead of the final?
Nervous.
It's pretty much 50-50. Like, I'm so excited, and I'm also, can I say one swear word on this thing?
Yeah.
Annie Dyer, I'm shitting myself.
It's nervous excitement. I mean, I'm an older fan, not as old as some, but older than most. If we have to wait another 43 or another 47 years for this, I won't be around, right? So that puts a huge amount of emphasis on this.
I'm excited but nervous at the same time. I know there's probably a lot of people that have said this.
I'm definitely already nervous. Like, automatically, my first thought, especially last night. So I watched the Europa League final between Roma and Sevilla, and the fact that it went to penalties, I automatically say in my head, 2006 FA Cup final, penalties, and we know what happened there. So you know, I can't deal with any penalties. I mean, I was very fortunate. I actually went to the final between England and Italy in the Euro 2020 final, which was obviously held in 21. And all I'm thinking to myself is, I just can't hack more penalties. I went to that final. It was, and obviously we've got an Italian team that we're facing, and I'm just like, automatically processing penalties bad. No.
I was lucky enough to be at that. That's the Trevor Brookings scoring the goal in 80. I was lucky enough as a 10-year-old to be at that game. Delighted we're there. Really hoping we do ourselves proud, that the fans do us proud, the players just try their best, and we come away with it. But you know, if you just said to me right at the start of the season, you know, we're going to make a final, I'd have bitten your arm off.
Fiorentina are a very good team. They've got some very good players there.
I'm just happy we're in a cup final and we've done well in something in the season. I'd snatch your arm off if you said to get to June and we're in a cup final or been in a cup final.
Now we're there. Just the nervousness and the apprehension about it is you don't want to walk away disappointed. If they fight their hardest and they don't come away with a trophy, then that's all you can ask for. It's sort of expecting to be disappointed, but really hoping I'm not.
It actually keeps me up at night when I think about it.
1 out of 3, European finals in the next week, and I was like, "Oh, where's us next week?"
You watched that and it goes to penalties, and you're like, "If it went to
I just don't know if I could. I don't think I could stomach it. The England penalties when we lost to Italy, I couldn't even watch that. So
yeah, I'm just all over the shop essentially.
It's scary, isn't it? Because you don't want to get your hopes up because you're like, West Ham have let me down so many times I can't even count. But then you're like, if we just go out and put in the performance that we have seen that we're capable of and just give everything, like all they've got is one more game to give everything in, and then they can go on their holidays and they can do whatever they want. But if they could just go out and, like you said, be clinical like we've proven that we can, it could be ours for the taking.
No, 100%. Like, there's no reason it can't be.
And I don't want to repeat of the 2006 Cup final either with the last-minute equaliser.
Absolutely not.
unless it's us, of course, that gets the last minute equaliser. So.
Yeah, then I want to see it. Definitely.
I'm nervous for all of us, right? I'm nervous for the team. I'm nervous for and excited for the team.
Europa was massive last season, and that was such a sick journey. But poor Cressy got us in like a massive mess. It's that age-old thing. People have been like, yeah, but it's West Ham, so like it's gonna go wrong. There's that weird sort of self-defeat. It's weird, isn't it? It's like what the anthem's about in a way.
You just got to give everything on that day and leave nothing. We know what it's like to mess up at that stage, and we just don't want to see it happening again.
Yeah. Been down to the club today, got some more stuff. I'm going all out for it.
Fully prepared.
And nervous about the way we deal with an Italian team that are going to try and frustrate us. That's the thing that I think if I was Moyes, I'd be banging home every day that we need to be ready for this. We don't want another Frankfurt. We want to keep our heads and know and trust in the process. So I think we can do it. Of course, I think we can do it, and we should trust in the process. But I mean, it's almost too much to imagine, right, that we could do it because of what it means.
It's been like a really depressing season, more or less, but to now, when it really mattered for it to be fitting together, I'm buzzing.
A final's always different. Everyone always says it. So I think ultimately you can't really go, oh, well, this is how they've played it in the league or how they've played in the Conference League or any of that. I think everything goes out of play, out of the window. because a final is completely different.
I'm really excited, and I think we're going to do a job. Fiorentina are obviously, they're there for a reason as well as we are. So we can't muck about. But if we can just play with the speed and sort of like effectiveness I've seen in the last few weeks, I think we'll be absolutely fine.
I think the one good thing that you could perhaps say is the West Ham team have known what an ultimate low is going out in the semi-finals of the Europa League last season, and it's something they don't want to repeat. Obviously, we've gone one step further getting to the final, but I think the players' mentality will be this is no other option but winning. Whether the pressure gets to them and becomes too much, it's such an unknown. I think the first 10-15 minutes of that final is going to be so critical to how the game goes. Because if you concede early, like we did in the semi-final against Frankfurt last year, then it's always an uphill battle, and that's where the difficulty comes in.
Which shirt are you going to wear for the final?
I've actually got one that's hanging just on the outside of the door. I've got one of the Prague ones that they've released.
I'm digging out all the old shirts for the games. I think I've worn a different old shirt for every home game and away game. So I've got to make sure I've got another different one. Even if it's skin tight and I can hardly breathe, I'm going to have to wear it. I think the wife's making sure that the same pants and the same socks and everything are clean so we can wear those as well. It's a superstition game.
Yeah, literally, I've never been so superstitious in my whole life.
Like supporting West Ham's a lot like supporting England, where it's like you've got so many past glories and that kind of thing, but in like recent years, it's just been occasionally like a tough pill to swallow. But the quality we've got in the squad, Paqueta has become just like an absolute world beater. He is, and he always was that player, but I just think fitting into Moyes' system in the Prem as well, there's all these different factors. But the way that he's been playing recently, Fornal's coming back into form. Yeah, I fancy us. I completely do.
Yeah. Downstairs. We've been lucky. We've been to all the home games, but the away games, with all three of us have sat on the sofa eating the same food. Yeah, we'll just watch it downstairs. We're going to do our usual pie and chips, West Ham food.
Yes, love that.
And sit in front of the telly and watch it. Yeah, that's the way we do it. We've done every game for the last 2 years that way. So,
but we'll be local watching it, and I'm probably watching it with my best mate, which is my dad. So,
yeah, literally love that.
We can either cry together happily or very sadly, and then get depressed together, or we'll be really overjoyous. Yeah.
I'm one of the quite a large section of people that are going but don't have a ticket, so I'm nervous about the trip and whether there's going to be tickets available, how we're going to be received. I'm nervous about that and also excited about it. Well, I went to Lyon and miraculously found one about an hour before the game, so I think that's playing on my mind, that those that are staying here, they're going to have a lot of fun as well.
I've been chatting to people today who are excited to watch it with their dad and their kids and watching it at home. Some people with their superstitions, not wanting to change what they've done the rest of the games. Some people booking out entire venues for like their whole extended family. So everyone's celebrating it in their own way, but it's going to be amazing. I think just wherever we are, what a time.
Exactly. It's like everyone's Christmas is different, right? There's certain patterns we follow, but people have traditions, and you know everyone enjoys it in their own way. So I think that's hopefully what's going to be. It's going to be Christmas and not Boxing Day.
I'm just ready to go. I've got a ticket for Fan Zone already. I'm going to the Indigo at the O2.
It will be in some sort of like amazing bar in London and just like have an amazing time. If we can lift this trophy, get back into Europa where we know we really belong because we smashed it last season, but I'd probably cry, to be honest. Like, it'll be just massive. It'll be huge.